think we can call the meeting to order. Looks like we got everybody online. Just pull up the screen here. All right, I'd like to do a roll call. So meeting starting for Royal Oak Animal Shelter at 7:01 p.m. May 20th. Andrew Steffes, Royal Oak, Michigan 48073. Travis, present.
Travis Moore here in Royal Oak.
Liz,
Liz Gerard Weston in Royal Oak.
Dawn,
Dawn Rapinski in Royal Oak, Michigan.
Char,
Carolyn Douglas in Royal Oak.
Eileen
Go ahead.
Krupa, Royal Oak.
Ashley,
Ashley Jericho, Royal Oak.
awesome. Do we have someone taking notes tonight?
Dawn? Where did you?
Yes, it is I, and I am taking the minutes. I sent you a message yesterday.
Okay, super, thank you. Do we have anybody in the waiting area for public comment?
No, there's no one there.
All right, so we can skip public comment. At this time, I'd like to approve the April 15th meeting minutes. Any revisions?
I'll make a motion to approve the April 15th minutes.
I'll second.
All right, I'll vote yes. Travis,
Yes.
Liz,
Yes.
Dawn,
Yes.
Char,
Yes.
Joe, Ashley,
Yes.
Eileen,
Yes.
unanimous vote. Thank you. All right, next item, approval of the May 20th, 2021 agenda. I see there's a number of folks in the document. Did everybody have a chance to review?
Yeah, Drew, so the minutes of the last meeting said that we would create a parking lot and move events, grants, and volunteer recognition into it. So I'd like to propose we revise the agenda to do that.
Yeah, that's fine. I think we already have a parking lot document. So I mean, yeah, we can take this stuff off for sure.
Can we set that up as an item on the notes the minutes that I'm going to take?
Well, I think what Char was saying is that we agreed to have it be a parking lot, like standing on our, like a standing parking lot on our agenda.
Yeah, it needs to be
Got
on
it.
the agenda.
Okay.
May I ask a question? Is that B, C, and D?
Yes.
So the only new business is donations and fundraising.
Unless there are reports for those three items. And maybe I should say that if there are reports for those three, then we'd leave them as new business. But then where there are not reports, we'll create a parking lot and put those items without reports into the parking lot. And they can be moved onto the action agenda at any meeting.
Okay,
I don't have any reports for grants. I typically cover that.
I have a report for donations, so I'll wait until it comes.
So I'll move approval of the agenda with those three items moved into the newly created parking lot.
I second that.
I thought we did that last time.
We did, but it's not reflected on this particular agenda. So we're cleaning up this agenda.
Okay. Yes.
So Dawn, for your notes, under
Right.
the approval of the May 20th agenda, we're basically, well, we haven't voted on it yet, but
So-
we're moving.
What I'm going to state is just the three items to be placed into the agenda parking lot.
Yep.
And just list them. Okay.
So, yeah.
Got it.
I'm making that revision right now. All right, how's that look?
I think you got it.
Super.
Very good. Thanks, Drew.
Not a problem. All right, thanks everyone. Can we, does anyone want to make a motion?
I did.
Char did. I seconded it. Now we need to vote.
All right. I'm in favor. Travis,
Yes.
Liz,
Yes.
Dawn,
Yes.
Shar,
Yes.
Ashley,
Yes.
Eileen.
Yes,
All right, all in favor. Thank you.
So, and I mean, I suggest something here. Last month when I was taking minutes, I mean, we'd be going on in the agenda and we shifted a couple things around, but Drew, you did that kind of on the fly. But I think now that we've approved this, all of these items need to stay where they are, and Dawn's in her minutes will add anything. I mean, if there's any, anything
Sure.
that isn't quite the same.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, staff reports, shelter. Jody,
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
howdy.
I might have to mute. I'm going to have people coming home, which means the dogs will start to bark. So if I do that, I'll just hold for a minute.
Only dogs?
What's that?
Only dogs?
Oh.
No other animals?
Oh, heavens to Betsy. The other animals are
The
all
whole
making their
farm?
own. The whole thing. The joys of being a shelter manager. Yeah. Working on the fly. So yeah, somebody's talking right outside the door now. So if you guys, I sent you the tabulation this afternoon. About the same. However, if you want to look closer, you see that we had 2 dogs adopted and 3 cats adopted since last time. We are still showing, I'm showing, I think, 4 cats tomorrow, potential foster to adopt, because that's been working actually really, really well, to let people meet the cats, especially, and then take them home for a day or 2 so they can kind of decompress and see how they do in the environment. Other than that, let me go back and double check. I think we've gotten dogs. The intake is pretty self-explanatory. No new cats brought in this month. Yeah, that's about where we are. Any questions?
yeah, Jody, I went on the site, Adopt Me.
Adopt a pet?
Yeah, Adopt a
Yeah.
Pet. And you got 27 cats. So does that reflect those cats that you've already adopted out?
Yeah, I think I just checked it today because I had to update for a couple that were adopted. I think we've got 28 listed.
And one
I've got
dog?
2 more. One just came back from the vet today. So I always like to give them a day or 2 and make sure they don't have reactions to their shots, or if they've had surgery, that they're healing okay. I have 2 cats to add and 1 dog to add. The dog may or may not get added because we already have somebody who's interested. So if they end up coming to meet, then I may not have to put her on the on Adopt a Pet. And the kittens are still not on there. The kittens that are in foster, they are just about old enough now. But the one foster that we have also does an awful lot of meet and greets on her own. And so they may already have found homes. I need to verify with her. So basically, we are basically up to speed with the animals that are listed. And I'm muting or not.
I do have a question too. So my question is, Jody, with the rapid, at least it feels to me, the rapid change and COVID protocol and businesses opening and things like that. What's going on with the shelter? Are volunteers coming back? Are people able to walk in to see animals? Or I'm just curious where that's at. I could try to extend the question a little bit longer.
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. I'm just waiting. I think it's a big combination. We are, as you know, we're hiring. We're looking to hire. So we're still in that process. We are short-staffed right now. And my preference would be that until we get somebody hired and trained, we not go back to that type of schedule. We have brought back a couple of our volunteers who are already trained to help out, whether it's in the shelter or helping out with things outside the shelter. Some people have stayed and been doing their volunteer work throughout the pandemic because they didn't come into the shelter. I think we have 2 that have come back into the shelter now occasionally, and they're still working one-on-one with staff members. They're not, because, you know, we do still have people who aren't thoroughly vaccinated or people who are concerned about going home to their families who aren't vaccinated. So my preference would be, and obviously the city is going to control this, but again, because of the way we are set up, and the fact that people have to pretty much work in close proximity, that we just do a slow rollout once we have staff trained.
Who did we lose in the employment?
Katie, I mean, between teaching, moving, getting married, she just was a little overwhelmed and something had to give. And so she decided to back away
Okay.
a month before her wedding. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Jody, for the update.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Dar?
I just want to let you know, so the city is under a declared state of emergency through the end of this month. And on Monday's agenda, we will be determining whether or not we extend it through July 31st. I expect we will. So
Yeah.
that's going to control what happens at the shelter.
Thank you. I appreciate that because I wasn't aware of that. I know the library had changed
Yeah.
their MO a little. So, and that really does help us. And as I've mentioned in these meetings, I realize that COVID and the shutdown has been a hardship for a lot of people, but in all honesty, I think it has made a world of difference for the animals. We have seen less behavioral problems. We're seeing animals who are happy and well adjusted. And I am a little concerned with the inpouring of people quickly again, going back to the way we used to do it, where people are coming and hanging there, poking it. You know, it's just that whole model is a tough one on animals to begin with. And after they've had so much time to kind of adjust without it, a slower rollout would be better for us, with potentially some changes moving forward in how we, and I can talk about this at some other time. This is an operational thing, but just to kind of keep you guys in the loop.
I hear
Thank
you.
you,
There is a
Shar.
Makes sense.
there is a consistency of care that we've had over the last year now that has made a difference. And just to piggyback on what Commissioner Douglas was talking about, the city has started talking about next steps. So whatever happens will be in conjunction with the city commission and the city's plan to slowly start opening up. I know City Manager Paul Brake has talked about slowly starting to open up things that can and need to be opened up right now. I don't know if the animal shelter is one of those things that are in a need to open right this minute category. So stay tuned.
Okay, Jody, anything else?
Nothing else I can think of right now. If anybody else has any other questions, then I think I'm good. But you know, obviously, if something occurs to me later, I'll stick my hand up. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. DC Frazier.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I sent everybody the financial report through April. Hopefully everybody received it, had an opportunity to look at it. Not a whole lot of big changes or anything. We're still kind of trending about the same right now. We've brought in about 35% of what we estimated we'd bring in at this point. Some of that is COVID related. Donations are sitting right around just shy of 33,000. The majority of them have been directly either sent to the shelter or sent into the city. And then financials, we're at about 49% of our expenditures of what we budgeted for, leaving us right around 53,000, 54,000 of what out of $107,000, leaving us a minus 16,000 at this point, a little short of minus 16,000 at this point, that we've spent more than we've brought in. So we still need to keep working on the bringing the money in part, because we are still spending. Any
We'll just wait
questions?
till you hear about our dog walk fundraiser.
I can't wait to hear about that.
Super. Thanks, DC Frazier.
I think Jody has a question.
Oh, I didn't
Can
see.
I piggyback on that quickly too with
go
the
ahead.
expenditures? We did have all of those cats to get sterilized and get their shots. So now that they are all done, hopefully we will see some of those expenditures slowing way down. I think that the last one was done in April. So that should help quite a bit with at least our medical expenditures. We're basically at the necessities now.
We're still trending. I mean, we're $2,000 under what we budgeted for animal spay and neutering for the year. So it's not like we're doing a bad job. We budgeted for 107.4. We've only spent 53.5. So our expenditures are being taken care of. They're relatively low right now, and that's also because of COVID.
So does that mean that the manager will get some kind of perk out of this? I would hope, for doing an
You gotta
outstanding
be
job.
kidding.
Oh, thanks.
We'll leave that for another
I
meeting.
thought I was muted. I better mute before I sing hallelujah or something.
I will sing Jody's praises once more. Jody works a lot of hours. She only gets paid for a little bit of hours.
Exactly.
Based on what we have going right now, a part-time employee can only put in about 1,500 hours a year, which equals out to be about 26 hours a week. So Jody volunteers the rest of her time, but there's no doubt she's putting in 40 hours a week. She's only getting paid for 26 roughly.
Yeah. I'm in her
That's it for
corner.
me though.
Me too.
So moving on to unfinished business, we have any updates on the virtual dog walk?
Oh, yes, we do. Dawn, do you want me to start?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so our fundraiser has made $2,870. I think we made way more than we did on our physical in-person dog walk. I guess I remember off the top of my head, but so that's just through the t-shirt sales. And as you know, the t-shirt sales was kind of like the ticket for the dog walk. So the dog walk, I think, officially kicked off 2 days ago, I think, according to our Facebook event.
The 17th, right.
Thank you, Dawn. And I haven't received my shirt yet. So
Nor have I.
I haven't either.
okay. I didn't know if that was a thing. Okay.
I'm wondering if there's maybe shipping delays.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering.
Well,
too.
they said when we ordered that they would be shipping on the 17th.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, something there was 17th would be the date.
Okay.
So I guess we should go back into it and check it out.
I mean, it was only a couple days ago, so maybe this week. But either way, a message. Dawn wrote a beautiful message. We thought it was going to go out via email. I haven't seen it yet as a t-shirt buyer, so I'm guessing it hasn't gone out. But I used kind of a portion of the email in the Facebook group, basically saying thanks everybody for buying your shirts. The walk has officially kicked off. If you're one of the first 12 people to post a selfie using the hashtag to Facebook, you'll get a prize. So
Some things are useful.
some are useful, some are fun, some are useful. So as soon as those t-shirts come in, I'll monitor the hashtag for the first 12 and get that taken care of. So
Yeah, I saw that where you thanked everybody. It was nice.
oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you, your dog walk in 2019 brought in $460.31.
That's it.
Good, we had a little bit of
You
a
deposited.
improvement.
That's what you deposited.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you had another deposit.
I wonder if
We didn't have that many people participate, but just the fact that we accomplished it was. a
that's
big
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, no, this is super. Quick
Yeah.
question, if I may. What's the the average? Do we know the average amount people are spending versus how the average amount that we're receiving as donation?
Donation, no.
I don't. We might be able to get that breakdown. We can ask Judy, yeah, Judy.
Yeah, no worries. Because I assumed that based on how much the T-shirt is, we're getting like roughly probably what, about half?
Well, it depends. It's like,
It depends on the item.
yeah, it's an interesting formula that I don't have. I'm sure Excel could do it for us, but basically it's like you have to reach a threshold of sales, and then it's like the more you sell, the more per shirt that you make.
Got it. Okay, it's
Right.
value based.
I think it was, I want to say it was 80. I think it was 80 shirts is what Judy said was like the magic number, or maybe 20. I can't remember now, but there was like a magic number that we were trying to achieve, and we did surpass that.
Good.
I thought you was trying for 100. I thought when I looked on there, it was, you reached your goal
Right.
of
I think
100.
100 was the goal, but in terms of
Got
like,
180.
in terms of the amount of money per shirt,
Oh,
I don't know what like kind of like the I don't know what the goal is in terms of that. I think it was like I said, I can't remember. I know Judy told us, but basically,
And frankly, right now, I think the fact that, because it's a gradient schedule. And
Mhm.
so when we do this again, maybe late fall, we could change up the visual on the front of the T-shirt to match more with the 100-year anniversary
yeah, maybe
of the city. So that might be another thing that we could do. So and then go
Definitely.
from there, and then learn a little bit more about it, because this was again a test, because the last event that we had was 2 years ago.
right.
So
And maybe
it's
as
time
things
to.
open up, maybe it can actually be an in-person event. I mean, who knows?
Mhm.
Who knows? So we'll see. But either way,
Right.
I'm pleased. $2,870. That was pretty wild.
You bet.
Super news. Travis, is there anything else you want to add there, or?
No, that pretty much covers it, because the T-shirt sales essentially was the ticket
Walk, yeah,
the fundraiser. So I don't have anything more to add.
awesome.
The only thing that I have to add is we need to, between Travis and Liz and myself, we need to get together to package up the giant, amazing prizes that we have available. So we'll have to do that before the end of the month, because then we have to put it someplace.
Right.
And so for pickup.
Right.
So that's really the next thing.
Okay. Thanks, Don, for that reminder.
Hey, Dawn, I have a
Yes.
question on that.
Okay.
Seeing as pickups might be hard to facilitate and there's only going to be 12, would maybe a delivery to a porch be a better option? Because between the three of us, that's only 4
Right.
homes we have to visit.
I'm
And
thinking,
Well,
I agree.
I talked to Shar, I believe, at one point, and we thought that maybe this city commission room, did we have that conversation, or did I dream that?
I think you dreamed that,
I think we had that conversation sort of kind of maybe.
but City Hall lobby is a
that's
reasonable.
what I was
Yeah.
going to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
just
that-
have to make sure that nobody steals them.
Well,
Steals the special
no.
prizes.
there's someone who sits in the lobby now on days that City Hall is open.
Okay.
And it's people who are there by appointment. So yeah, that can be managed.
Okay, we'll just have to figure out how we do that.
I'm also
Okay.
not opposed to porch drop off, like Travis said. So I
Right.
think between the three of us, we can come up with a
plan.
plan.
Sometimes that's also easier to get rid of the stuff and not have it linger around because somebody might pick it up or something. And so I know you guys don't want it coming back to your houses. So
What about,
There we go.
Go ahead, Eileen.
pardon me, Drew or Travis, what about having one person from the committee be at the lobby, have the hours posted that they can come and pick up their gifts? And that way you have one person to give them out. And if not, have their telephone numbers on the gift. If nobody shows up, then you can call them and they can pick them up at your house.
So Eileen, I think you're the only person on the committee that's not working full time. So
No,
unless you're volunteering to be that person.
no,
I could do that if you wanted to, and I know the gal that volunteers at the information desk, her name is Nicole. And she probably would be willing to do that.
Yeah,
Let's,
maybe that would be a good idea.
yeah,
Yeah, because if, it's much easier to do that at one shot in one 3-hour block, and that's it.
Yeah, if we can get people to do that. So that's just the challenge.
Jody,
Making sure that people come in.
go ahead, Jody.
That
Yeah,
or a volunteer from our great volunteer list.
I was going to volunteer that I've been doing porch pickups for the shelter at least once a week. And I'm more than happy to do a kind of intake output. So as part of my rotation, I generally do a couple of hours on Sunday in between shifts. So,
And
So you
honestly,
could just drop stuff off.
and that's,
yeah, because I'm picking up as it is, because obviously with us closed, what we found is it's easier, instead of trying to schedule for people to be there, I just let them know that there are certain days that I will be doing pickups. If they'd like to be put on the list, then they leave things on the porch and I drive by and I pick them up.
and that's honestly, I'd be willing to drop them off too, because I'm with Travis. I want to get rid of this stuff. So
Yeah.
if we're relying on somebody to go somewhere to pick it
Well,
up.
And I realize I don't have a say in this, but I have to wonder if it's maybe a little more special to know that this is going to be delivered to you if you've won.
I agree.
Then you've got a specific time you've got to show up to pick it up, which is kind of a constraint.
It's their door prize.
It's a
literally.
door prize at their door. Vanna, tell them what they've won. Yes.
So
Wait, did you see that level? Yeah, she's had practice. Sorry.
we will.
Yeah, I want this
figure it
as
out.
simple as possible.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Rest assured that these 12 prizes will get to their rightful owners shortly.
And you
after making
have my address for the bourbon, right?
Yes.
Honestly, I feel like I should drop that off at your house just because of everything you do. So maybe I'll just leave it outside the shelter for you.
You're sweet.
There
Yeah,
you go.
slide it under the fence because you got to be
Yes.
careful, people driving by.
Yes.
Are there any other questions about the virtual dog walk? Thanks everybody for your support and voting to allow us to do this. I think it turned out really nice.
Thanks, everyone. This is awesome. I think we can probably move on to maybe new business donations and fundraising. I think this is going to be kind of a open forum at this point.
Well, we did skip 7.3 or 7A3.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it almost kind of reads the same, but maybe someone disagrees in terms of near future fundraising events. I don't know if we have any update in terms of fur ball return type stuff.
Just a thought, Drew. One of the things that you brought up pretty consistently is about the can drive or the pop can drive.
Yeah, I have the flyer sitting in my house. I was going to bring that up again.
Have you thought about it? Put something together?
Well, I did anybody receive there was let me see if I have the thing sitting on my shelf here, but some local high school student did a can drive for another animal shelter. Did anybody participate?
No.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay, there was another animal shelter that's a Royal Oak High School senior did for a senior project, and he raised like over $200 in pop cans.
Cool.
Can everybody still hear me?
Yeah, I said woof. That's a lot of pop cans. That reminds me. I hope this isn't deviating too much.
Can everybody still hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're frozen, Drew,
We
but
can hear you.
we can hear you.
Okay.
You're
all
You're
right,
moving now.
everybody. Wonderful.
Try turning off your camera and turning it back on. That helps me.
Okay. So I'm shut it off, but to do it.
But what Drew just brought up reminds me. I hope this isn't deviating too much. But Jody, wasn't there like a match thing going on with with a high school?
The high school.
Isn't a high school or something doing a?
Yeah, Interact. Royal Oak High School Interact Club is doing a match right now that I posted on our Facebook page. I think it's
Right.
up to $4,000.
Wow.
Wow.
So, well, I mean, I think their match is up to $4,000. I don't know what they've brought in because that's not coming past me. They have their own donation page. I want to say, and I've got to go back and double check.
Andrew's
I
got it
want
in
to
front of him.
say, oh, for Interact?
Yeah,
that
no,
right?
this
The one
Well,
where
that's
is that
for New
the,
Beginnings.
this
oh
is
no, that's the, yeah, that's the can drive. I'm gonna have to find it. I don't have it
Okay.
right at hand, but I believe it was running through the end of May. I think
Okay.
it was during the month of May until June 1st, maybe.
And honestly, I apologize. I wasn't trying to deviate. I just wanted to.
Oh no,
Sure.
I'm glad you brought it up because a lot of times people will float these things past me, and since I'm not managing them, I just post them and kind of walk away. So I appreciate you bringing that back up. That's important. I should probably share that post again.
Okay. Thanks,
Thank
Jody.
you.
So
Thank you.
Drew, we did see the flyer. Thank you for thank you for showing it. So are you interested in?
Yeah, I just was working on masters up until last week, and I'm finally done. So I'll take the point on that and reach out to schools, and I'll copy some of you all on the communication that I have with the schools and the Scout programs.
You might also just contact Liz Crampton directly about with all of the people who are wanting to assist with the shelter. There might be a lot of people there who will be willing to help.
Yeah, okay, we'll do.
Do we have to? I'm trying to remember. Do we have to vote on this? Just because I'm trying to remember if we voted to approve the virtual dog walk. I just want to make sure we're following consistent.
What was to vote for?
If we were
approving
actually
it?
going to do it, like does the committee want to just sponsor? I don't know, this event. I mean, I will vote yes. I'm not
Event
bringing it
that
up
was
'cause I'm trying
already
to stop
happened?
it. I'm just
I think we don't. Are we, what event are we talking about? The
This-
idea.
Can
Pop
drive.
can drive.
Well, I thought you meant the virtual dog.
I think what we need to
Okay.
do is, and I think we talked about this a little bit last time, is might have to lean on the animal shelter here a little bit. And Jody, maybe you can help out with this. Is let's understand what stuff that you guys need help with, and then that could be we could vote on a list of like approved projects and or things that could be done. One of those things could be a pop can drive that directly raises money. Maybe there's some sort of other fundraiser.
Hang on, I think it's me this time.
Or work.
I'm losing you guys.
I
Okay.
think, I don't think Jody
Hold
has
on.
to do fundraising. That's our responsibility. So
Right, but I can't say with confidence that everybody's going to want all these groups that I interact with are going to want to just do pop can drives. That's what I'm trying to say. I think that's a great option, but I think it really has to be it has to be a two-way street, right? Where I think we should be able to offer a number of different service projects and say, here's a list of approved service projects that we need help with. And
We
then-
show a need that gives them something to work for.
Right, exactly. So like, I don't think that we should necessarily be telling them explicitly, you're doing a pop can drive. I think we should be able to give them a list of things that they
Right.
could do. And
We need this much money for more cages. Let them figure out how to raise it.
So what if we have an event a month, like, so that we give 12 events throughout the year and they can choose which one they want to participate in. And each one runs for the full month. Follow what I'm saying?
what do you
So
mean? What do you mean by an event a month? I don't really follow on that.
So for June, we do the can drive. July, we do the, t-shirt sales. August, we do, we pick up what, each one might be an event in itself and go out to, and, we're going to be putting it on Facebook. We're going to be putting it out to all of the people who want to participate and do fundraisers or whatever participation, and roll it out that way. That way you can really get to choose what you want to do in what month.
Yeah.
I think you guys are talking from two different angles.
Yeah, I agree. I was
Exactly.
gonna say,
Yeah.
I was trying to decipher it myself. So Dawn, what Drew's talking about is us having a list of ideas for service
I get it.
to pull
No.
from. And it sounds
Yep.
like what you're saying is that we should designate certain events per month. And that might be too regimented for what Drew's trying to achieve with his network.
I got
I
that.
wouldn't handcuff anybody by saying we need you to do this fundraiser just because they might not be familiar or comfortable with a certain fundraiser, but their bailiwick might be, I don't know,
Right.
cookie sales or
Right.
something else.
You could have someone who's a fantastic baker and maybe that's what they want
Yeah.
to do. I think it should align to the person's interests and passions of where they think they can provide the most value.
Do we have any control of it at that point? Or, because if we rewind all the way back, there was a point in time we were having a conversation about this is going to become a fundraising group. That's what our job is to raise funds. So how much funds have we raised? We need to start getting something really organized, whether it's having all different types of ideas of, this is what you can do. You can create whatever you want to create. Just sort of throw it at us and become that group, or become more regimented to it. This is the month of whatever, but we've got to start making some decisions because frankly, Liz and I have been two of the strongest fundraisers here. Hate to say it that way, but that's what it's boiled down to.
Well, can I build off of that? So the reason why I put my virtual hand up is because Dawn, you
Oh,
raised
I'm sorry, I put it down.
Oh, stop it. I'm like, who's doing that? So thank you. I'm going to
Sorry.
speak anyway.
Just speak up when you want.
So what I was thinking was this, Dawn brought up what I wanted to say. So Drew, I think what we're getting at is the conversation about if we're a city committee versus if we're a board, or, like our own thing. Because what you're saying, at least this is what I'm hearing, is that you want to act as an ambassador to gather entities that might want service projects.
Right.
And what I interpret as a barrier, and I hope someone who knows more about parliamentary procedure corrects me if I'm wrong, is that in order for this group to agree that something's going to happen, that we need to vote, like any decision that we make. So I don't know if we want to have a vote that's some blanket decision that Drew can go out and promote these service opportunities to anybody he feels like, or if everybody that Drew wants to talk to that we need to approve. Again, I might be totally off base here, but that's why I asked about, do we need to vote on this? Because I recall, we can go back in the minutes and check, but I recall us voting to approve this virtual dog walk idea, because in order for us to do something with the committee's name on it, it has to be something that the committee agrees to do. Does that make sense?
Commissioner Douglas, you feel free to jump in here, but it's my opinion that just what you said, if it's something that is doing it with the backing of the animal shelter committee, or it's on behalf of the animal shelter committee, it doesn't hurt to vote and have it an all in favor and approval of it.
So, but what you could vote for could be a list or an approach. That is, you don't have to vote to allow Drew to contact groups A, B, C, and D. You can say, this is our approach, and announce it to
an idea.
The world. And I'm going to report here that the City Commission has been in budget meetings this week, and we have made a commitment to fund the base level of operations at the shelter out of the city's general fund. But I think we've heard in the past that there are things over and above that aren't in the budget. I mean, we're just giving you the basis here, and neither we nor as a committee nor we as a commission can tell staff to do things. That's the job of the city manager. Nevertheless, it would be a good idea if staff created a wish list with some price tags on it. And then different groups, if they need $200 worth of catnip, then somebody goes, oh, well, I'll raise that. And if they need $1,400 worth of squeaky toys, then somebody will say, oh, I'll check that box.
I think what you're asking, Shar, is for like basically a spreadsheet.
Well, a wish list.
A list.
A wish list
But
that for donations, it can be, that's a separate thing, but going back to what you're talking about in your list for the people, like the high schools and that, if we ask, as a committee, if we ask Drew to draw up a list of projects that he could present to the high school and the students could.
I don't think it's on, I'm sorry, Eileen, I'm going to disagree. I don't think it's on me to draw up a list of projects.
Well,
can I please interject here? Ashley, I think this might be Ashley's last meeting, and I do want to say Ashley did this. There's a beautiful document that she put together. She worked with Jody, and it was like a wish list. Now, I will say,
exactly, about a year ago.
It's probably a little out of date because of the new developments with potentially, I don't want to say potentially, the new building that DC and Jody had told us about a couple of meetings ago. So, I mean, it obviously needs to be addressed, but I just want to be clear that we have done this and give Ashley the credit that she deserves.
DC?
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up and then piggyback on the fact of the new building. Where we're at right now with this new building is plans have been drawn up for this building, and now there's businessmen and women, businesses in general, that are looking to fund how to get this built and paid for privately, not through the city, but on their own. So we could also maybe have a list of animal shelter current and animal shelter future needs, possibly too. Now, keep in mind, the animal shelter future is still a concept. It's not 100% done. It's not 100% a done deal. This is something that local business people have approached us on and said, hey, we want to do this, but there's nothing inked. There's no paper signed. So, but yes, there is a list, and I'm sure it can be added to, of current needs for the animal shelter. And I think it's a great idea to have a list of needs, fan it out there, and see who can raise what money for it.
So is there a possibility that we can go back to all of those people who wanted to volunteer their time, their money, their whatevers, who Liz Crampton has that swath of emails, and that we can get an understanding of what those people want to do? I mean, if they're people who are doers rather than givers, we can establish that. And it's that way we've got certain needs that are just, who are the doing people. And then we've got the people who are the giving people. So if we put it out there that this is what we need and we give it to them, it's a start. It's just a thought. Jody?
Yeah, I heard my name invoked and then I absolutely lost my connection. So I don't know whether I have to address anything. Yeah, I was gone and back. But like DC said, we have a number of wish lists. I actually talked to a group within the past week where I brought this up, where if we stay in the same building, then there are certain things that we will need. If we move into a new facility, there will be other things. There are the ongoing things like food and litter that we always need, bedding, medical, that we always need. So we've got a hard copy wish list for accessible individual givers. We've got an Amazon wish list. We have a large ticket wish list. We have those all combined or compiled. The one thing that we don't have necessarily is a number on the big ticket. And some of that I like leaving with sort of a blank check. So it's more of a, well, right now, if we were to do this, it might cost us this, but things fluctuate sometimes. So getting the scope of what somebody might want to raise might help us also, instead of saying, yes, do this, we might be able to say, well, you're probably within this range. I think that would take care of this or this or this. And I realize I'm sort of conceptualizing, but it's two different ways to look at it, whether you want to present somebody with the hard numbers or you want to say, you know, here are some things you could do. So did I have to answer any questions from when I disappeared?
That was
Okay.
perfect.
All right. Thank you.
So at the end of the day, what I'm hearing out of all this is that I can go ahead and engage with whether it be scouts or the high schools to try to bring in interested parties.
Can I ask one more thing? Can I interject one more thing? So I guess a couple of things. When we did talk about it in the past, when you talked about it in the past, it was if the board was going to support a fundraiser, I think there was a vote. But as a volunteer, if this is a project that you want to bring, I think you've got the leeway to just do some organization and then present once you figure out what it is that you might want to do, if I remember correctly.
Absolutely, and I mean it's again, it's on the person who's doing the work to pitch to us what they want to do. But I think we at least need to give them like a small, you know, a small boundary, and like if this is theoretically enough, I just want to make sure that there's a dialogue saying that like, hey, this is what we could use help with. You guys go figure out how you want to do it.
Right, and if you want that to be a committee sanctioned message, then you could make a motion right now for us to consider, and we can go from there. But if you want it to be something independent of this committee, it would just be Drew, resident of WROK.
Shar, what's your weighing on this?
Well, I mean, Liz kind of sent us in the right direction with the idea that that there is a shopping list out there or a wish list right now. And I would say maybe we resurrect that, ask Jody to take a look at it to see if it's relevant, and approve that wish list and publish it. And then if people say, oh, I'll do that, well, they'll just show up with the money.
Right.
Yeah. The list was shared in the chat, just FYI.
Was shared in what? I'm sorry.
There's a chat.
There's a chat button at the bottom where
Okay.
share screen and everything else is.
Okay.
But there also is, it's in our shared, so it's in our Google Drive. If you go to the main Google Drive link and click the corporate donations and partnerships folder, it's the only thing in that folder.
Okay.
But just going back to what you said, Drew, if you got people that want to send money or do something to make money for the shelter, I don't think we have to vote on that. I think it's more of the committee itself is working as a whole to develop one large fundraiser. That would be a little bit different. But if you're out and about and hear that people want to do a can drive and that benefits the shelter and you point them in the right direction, I don't necessarily think that needs a vote per se.
I agree. I can't help thinking about some of the issues that came up. I don't know, time is now like Jello, but maybe a year or so ago with the table at the farmers market. You know, Eileen works really hard at that table, but ultimately we decided as a group that it made sense for it to be something that Eileen did, not as a representative of the committee, but as, you know, a community member who's passionate about the shelter. So that's what I'm remembering, and I just want to make sure that we're not treading into that gray area and causing issue. I want to be fair. And
yeah, I hear you. The distinction in this is Eileen was working that. Drew will just be kind of a liaison to a group that wants to do it on their own. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be going out there and saying we're the Royal Oak Animal Shelter. They're going to say we're the Cub Scouts, we're this, we're that.
We're working on
today. We're raising money for the Royal Oak Animal Shelter. So
that makes sense.
A little bit different.
Thank you.
That's exactly what I do. I raise the money for. I'm not working as a committee member. I'm working as a private citizen.
I saw
the difference is you are the
plant sale.
Yeah, I have a report on that when we get through all this chatting.
Yeah.
I was
Jody
just gonna,
has a question.
yeah, I was just gonna add to that too. One of the things we talked about was how we would present in social media if it was a committee project as opposed to a project from the public. Because the committee, being a city committee, basically sharing, some things with the animal shelter, they can have access that the public can't necessarily have. So the rules that they have to follow and the access they have are different. And that's
Right.
again why we made the distinction.
You actually raised, I don't want to drag this on, but Jody, you raise a good point, because I'm recalling another event that we had partnered with a community organization, and the flyer was pretty misleading. It wasn't misleading, but it wasn't clear. That's probably the more accurate way to say it. So there was
Right.
fear that folks were going to show up at the shelter thinking that the event was at the shelter, but
Right.
it was in fact in like a soccer field somewhere in
Yeah,
Clark.
yeah.
So that raises a good point too, because we, as a committee, we decided that if anybody was going to do an event like that, that we would want to at least approve the flyer. But again, is that if we're agreeing to partner as a committee with the organization? I think so. Right? I'm pretty sure that's what we voted on, that if someone wanted to partner with with us as a committee,
Mhm.
that we
Right.
want
Right.
to approve the flyer. That's right.
Right.
Okay.
And again, because the city needs to have, there's certain things you can and cannot put in because we are a city department. So you've got to
Right.
be more careful with it.
True. Okay. So, but if they're just doing it on their own, they can make, I guess, whatever they want.
But right. And in that case, then we also have the plausible deniability, or we can say, this is separate from us. Because who knows, somebody may do something that members of the community find very distasteful and try to say that it's an animal shelter fundraiser. But if they haven't cleared it through the shelter or the committee, the police department, what have you, the city, then we've got that buyout that it's not by us, it's for us. And they are doing this separately. Yeah.
Right.
Got it. Okay. Very good.
Moving on.
Thank you.
Okay, I heard it sounded like Eileen, you had something to present for the next item.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know if it was supposed to be here or I should have done it maybe in public comment. I had a table at Royal Oak and Bloom to raise some money for the shelter, where we sold dog biscuits, catnip, and toys. And we raised $677.
Yay, you.
Wow.
And I've also collected $564.50 from donations around the city.
Nice.
So,
Nice job, Eileen.
so that was $1,241.50. So that takes care of the neutering bill close to.
That's great. Thanks. Steve.
Great work, Eileen.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Anything else? DC?
If we're moving on or in new business, I have two things. Number one, I did have a brief discussion. There's a lot of committees and boards that are moving to in-person meetings. That's not anything we have to do right now, but there is an option if you want it to in the next month or two. It could be facilitated. We could do it at the police department and go back to in-person meetings soon, but I just wanted to throw that out there. And that's not even anything that you have to decide today, but if you did, I could give you all a nice tour of the new police department too. It's pretty cool. But it's the conference room there is, y'all remember our last conference room, it's about 3 of those. So it's very spacious and it's a nice open area where there could be plenty of social distancing and things like that.
Super.
So that's one thing. I just thought I'd throw it out there. Number 2, it was mentioned a minute ago, today is Ashley's last meeting with us, boo-hoo. But I wanted to personally thank her for everything she's done with this committee and volunteering and her service and just being a great community member and person in general and all the help. Thank you.
There's big shoes to be filled.
Thanks,
Thank
Ashley.
for your
Ashley.
service.
Thank you. And I just want to say, I did not want to leave Royal Oak. this kind of all came out of nowhere and was just too good of an opportunity to give up. You know, like my husband's gaining about 5 years on that corporate ladder, and you know, it's unfortunate, but you know, I can keep my job. I will be traveling to Detroit and up to Bloomfield Hills to our offices about once a month to spend several days up here. So I will be keeping in contact, and you know, I'll have a lot of contact in the area with business development, whatever. So I certainly hope to spend some time visiting my neighbors here in Royal Oak, and I always love it here. And I'm super sad to be leaving, but Charlotte's a great place, and I'm sure it'll be a nice place to live, and I'll get involved there. So thank you all. And unfortunately, with this COVID situation, you know, I wish we could have done more over the last year and that I could have contributed more, but yay for you guys. Great job, everybody.
You're going to be missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
So if you need one of us to hold on to the bourbon basket, so you can come get a cup while you're in town, let us know.
I think I'm gonna pass that to Jody, and you know, we'll see what happens.
If you passed it to me, it wouldn't be a bourbon basket anymore.
It'd be just a basket.
Just a
yeah.
basket, yes.
Too bad she doesn't
Yeah.
have one for each of us. That would be nice.
Well,
I'm sure we
we'll
can
pass
each
that
pour one
along.
out.
That's
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
well,
There you go. Next in-person meeting, I'm sure that's frowned upon, but maybe afterward.
Yeah.
So thank
Good
you
luck to
all,
you.
and
Thanks,
you guys will
Ashley.
continue to do a great job.
Virtual
Thank
hugs.
you, Ashley.
Yes, virtual hugs.
Yeah.
Good luck, Ashley.
Thanks.
That was it for me.
Anyone else? Any other new business?
Eileen,
Yeah.
I did not write down those numbers that you provided.
Oh,
The
okay.
fundraising, I'm sorry.
Okay. Royal Oak and Bloom, $677.
Okay,
And the regular donations boxes, $564.50. It's been very slow because of COVID.
okay.
All right. Well, I think we can maybe talk next meeting more about what the return to in-person would look like, if that works for everybody. And that next meeting would be June 17th, currently on Zoom. And then we can maybe discuss what that would look like in July and beyond, if that works for everybody.
Really quickly,
Yeah.
if we're about to adjourn, I just want to point out, in the couple of years I've been on this committee, we have never adjourned in under an hour. Nice.
We used
2
to.
minutes, we can shoot the
There's
breeze.
always a first.
Well, no, we got 2 minutes, so hurry up.
Yes.
We're
minutes.
setting records here.
I move we adjourn.
Yes.
Second.
I'll
Travis,
do an all in favor.
all in
Got it.
favor?
Hi.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Have a good
Looks like-
day, everybody.
Okay.
Bye.
Travis, go
Good night,
ahead.
everyone.
Have a good month.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.
All right, take care. Bye.
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 Bye, Ashley.